that video with you. Oh my gosh, listening to that, I feel really emotional as usual. And I'm here watching it with you. Actually, the Facebook and the YouTube were a little offset, so I wanted to check in on YouTube, and then it came in. So I waited a couple of minutes to come for the Q&A, but here I am. As I mentioned earlier, maybe if somebody can just comment on this video and let me know that you're seeing me in this video, that would be awesome. I'm actually coming to you live from High Level, Alberta, and I actually spent the last 5 days traveling to oh, okay, there we are. There's Kenton. Hi. Great, somebody's on here. I spent the last week traveling to see my brother and my sister and their families in Edmonton. It was the first time I had left my house in my home in Yellowknife in 3 months, which is the longest time that I've ever stayed at home in 20 years. But the pull to see my nephews and nieces and my brother and my sister and my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and all of my other relatives was very strong. And so I made the journey. I drove down, and because I'm not 20 years old anymore, I had to do it in 2 days. So I'm staying in High Level here, and that's where I'm coming with you to premiere, coming to you. Oh, good morning, Trevor. To premiere this lyric video and the new tune. And I have done a couple of performances of it in some of my live online videos, but this is the first time that the recorded version has really been released into the world. It is free, so well, you can also purchase it, but please go to Spotify and wherever you buy your music. Oh, hi, Tana Yate. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wherever you purchase your music or stream your music and get the song Giants. I actually wanted to tell you a little bit about the song for this Q&A. And if you have questions, please, they are coming in kind of on chat on this restream a little bit slower than they are like then they come onto the Facebook, but they do eventually come on. So I'm okay. Great. Okay, thanks, Crystal. Okay. So the song Giants was originally written for the World Cup of cross-country skiing, which was to be held in Alberta in Canmore in March of this past year. And in January, the Canmore Folk Festival actually got in touch with me, and they, along with the World Cup Association in Alberta, wanted to commission a song to be the anthem for the World Cup of 2020 cross-country skiing. I'm a great lover of cross-country skiing. I actually do it myself, not in any competitive way, but I love getting out there on the lake. Like, I just ski behind my house on the lake. And so it's something but I used to race when I was much younger in jackrabbits, and until I was a teenager. I wasn't ever great, but I really loved it. And so I can really relate to some of the ways that athletes, and as a musician who I sacrifice a lot for my art, I can really relate to what Olympic athletes and world-class athletes go through and what they sacrifice in order to really pursue their dreams. And so I had gladly accepted the invitation to write this song, but I wasn't really sure like what direction I should go. So I took the idea to my producer, Hilkur Kudis, and whom you're on this feed, you're probably very familiar with her. I constantly extol her and praise her to the moon and back. Hill and I wrote this song together. So we started talking about, actually, so Hill is Greek. So she started talking about the Greek philosophers and ancient Greek wisdom, which was actually quite holistic and had some similarities to some of the pagan belief systems. It's since been kind of shifted, and the way that we perceive Greek philosophy is quite it's very logical, and that's kind of the perception. There is a whole partner side that history has kind of erased. But oh, hello. I'm Michael. Okay, Michael Paul. Sweet. So we were talking about this, and then I was thinking about some of our ancient civilizations, like the people who built the Easter Island heads, and then people like the Incas and the Aztecs, whose civilizations we know about through archaeology. So there are descendants of those people. We have an impression that they're, we have an impression that they're lost cultures, but there are still Incans and Aztecs descendants that are still alive, much like a lot of people in Europe or across the globe that believe that Indigenous people of North America are extinct. And in fact, that's not the case. Good morning, Mark. In fact, when I was traveling through India, I had like the hardest time telling people what my heritage was, because they really, many of them, and that's a great generalization to talk about the Indian subcontinent that way, but many people were really did not think that people, any Indigenous people of North America, survived this like conquest, or colonization. So it was really, that was maybe part of why I wanted to started to really share things about my culture, my people, the Dene, and specifically the North, because I know that there is a great sort of whitewashed history out there that doesn't include our people and what happened from our perspective. So anyway, I digress. Giants was really what came out of talking about those ancient cultures, and that we will eventually be those ancestors with any luck, and if we're able to treat the earth in a good way, and preserve it for our future children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, 7 generations in the future, maybe we'll be those ancient ancestors. And it got me thinking about how resilience not only runs and only is handed down from our parents and grandparents, but it really runs in our DNA. It's a miracle that we're all alive. If you really dissect the chances of us being here just as individuals. And so I wanted to focus on kind of a concept of resilience and strength and courage, but also something that we can turn to if we're facing great obstacles, and if we're facing those situations where we don't feel strong and we don't feel capable. Being reminded of the fact that I love that quote, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams come true. I think that's a really, really beautiful quote. And I'm not sure who to attribute it to. Maybe if somebody knows, they can put that in the comments. But I've heard it sort of seriously and tongue-in-cheek said many, many times over the last couple of years when I've been talking about resilience. So Hill and I sat down, talked about resilience and ancestral power, and I was moved to want to include some Dene language in the song. I am still like a baby learner. I pronounce things wrong all the time. I really don't know how to carry on a basic conversation. And that's something that I'm kind of, gradually adding words to my vocabulary vocabulary. Thank you, Wendy. Thanks so much for tuning in. So I asked my mom, Cindy Gilday, to kind of translate because translation is a tricky thing. There's not always a corresponding word in English for the concepts of Dene worldview and likewise. So I took this idea of like their blood runs through our blood, or their strength is within us. And I asked my mom to come up with something that sort of encapsulates that idea in Dene. And she talked to my Auntie Yuri, and between the two of them, they sort of, oh, hi, Joella from Mayo. Oh, fantastic. Oh, right on. We came up with something that it sort of talks about, and I love this picture because Denechonke means ancestors inside us. So it's oh, good morning, Rosie. Oh, so nice to see you on here. And you're saying can't wait to hear your new song. You can just click on the video just prior to this one, and that's the video premiere. You can listen to it. But going back to what I was saying, Denechonke means ancestors inside of us, inner ancestors. And I was just like, I got good shivers when I thought about that. Hi, Mike. Hi, Craig from PEI. Ani Mike. So Denechonke suri naketse, so it's very strong and very powerful. That phrase is very strong and very powerful. Eyihe etakriye. So they're always with us. And so speaking those words was very scary for me and very vulnerable because, of course, once you record it, after that day, there's no going back to change it. And my pronunciation is just it's not great. So it's like I said, I'm a baby speaker. So, but my mom really helped me and coached me. So I'm really thankful to her for that. And so we came up with this really catchy kind of chant chorus and something that I could really envision like skiers, like just skiing away down the trails. Oh, hi, Glenn. So nice to see you. Oh, thanks, Len. And we worked all day on this song, one cold day in January in Toronto, back when we could really travel. And I just had a fantastic time putting this together with my dear friend and sister Hill. So really enjoy it. And then the additional thing that we premiered today is the lyric video. So lyric videos are something that people are doing just to kind of get the lyrics out there so fans can access those, and I'm really into that. But I have zero capability when it comes to, as you can see, technologically, I'm like, it's a big learning curve, people, but I'm doing it. And so my dear friend and person that does all of my website management, all of my online social management, kind of life coach actually, and she owns a company called Awesome Artist Management, and that's Crystal Thompson, did this wonderful animated video and spent hours and hours doing the beautiful animation of the skier coming towards you that you see in the video, and it's which adds like a beautiful dimension to the meaning of the song, and I'm really grateful to you, Crystal, for doing that video. So I think that's pretty much all I have to chat about this tune. If anybody has any questions, I am happy to take those questions. Yeah, so please go ahead and, oh, hi. Manawaki, cool, that's great. Right on. Is anybody watching this on YouTube right now? I'm just really curious. If everybody is watching here that is not subscribed, please go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're actually, oh, yay. We're actually, Crystal has spent a lot of time developing the YouTube channel, and we were gifted some footage from Gary Bailey. Thanks so much, Gary, from Blue Feather Music Festival, which was in November of 2019. I performed there with my band, and we did a full-length set on this beautiful stage at the Yukon Arts Center, and they videotaped it, or they filmed it with like really high quality cameras. And so Gary has gifted me with the footage of, and he said, use it however you want. And we're going to release songs from that concert on my YouTube channel, but strictly over there. So please, if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, the channel is Leela Gilday Music, and I do have a Leela Gilday channel that I made years ago, but that's not the official one. So please make sure you subscribe to Leela Gilday Music channel, and we'll be releasing some of those videos in the next couple of months. And oh yeah, and Crystal's gone on and put the link to purchase Giants, the song Giants. If you haven't already downloaded it or purchased it, or streamed it, please go to that link, and there's a whole bunch of links that you can click through to buy it. Yeah, well, I hope everybody's doing okay. This is Indigenous History Month. This coming Sunday is National Indigenous Peoples Day. I have like a number of shows coming up on Sunday that are taped. I'm doing a live, a very short live appearance at the Hospital Employees Union celebration of solidarity. They have a First Nations Hospital Employees Advocacy Office, and they're holding a whole long event. I'm doing oh, thanks, and Crystal's also put the YouTube channel in there. I'm doing a short piece for them on Sunday at, I think it's like 3:30, but I have a whole bunch of shows that I'm very excited about that are pre-taped for Sunday. So those should all be listed on my website. I'll actually maybe post them after this so that everybody can have a chance to see what's coming up. I've done a lot of thinking over the last few weeks. It's really great to see human rights coming to the forefront again of media and mainstream attention. It's always on my mind. It's always on our mind as Indigenous people. Lived experience is, it is always of concern to me. So the fact that it's getting mainstream media attention, and that the Black Lives Matter movement is gaining momentum again in the mainstream, which it never lost momentum with our people. But I am glad that we're having these conversations. I'm glad that there's demonstrations of solidarity. I'm very happy and proud to be talking about Indigenous people and about the things going on with us. This month is, maybe it's a good time if you aren't Indigenous and you aren't aware. And I mean, just because I'm Indigenous doesn't mean I'm aware of everything either. So I am equally eager to do some reading and some research and talking to people about situations in different nations. So, and even within my own nation, there's things that go on that I'm unfamiliar with. So, really reaching out and doing some reading about Indigenous history this month is a really good idea. And Sunday is a time to celebrate, just celebrate our beauty and our unique nations and our culture and all of the really great things that we bring to the world, our worldview as well. So it's I feel like this is I'm excited that there's movement and that there's change in the wind. As uncomfortable as that can be sometimes, It's so important and it's so needed. We are so out of balance with everything. And anyway, I think that, oh, and Trevor's asked, is there a place to buy the song where you get all the money? No, there is not. So that's not possible. And Dara's asked who did the animation. So maybe Dara wasn't able to tune into this yet. That's Crystal. So anyway, I think I'm going to get going because I have another 8-hour drive ahead of me today. It's a beautiful day here in High Level, and I will be going into quarantine again for 14 days when I go back to Yellowknife, just to keep things on the up and up and make sure I'm doing my best to keep everybody healthy. We are still in the middle of this pandemic, and I'm happy to do my part to protect our vulnerable people. So yeah, just sending out all my love to all of you, and thanks so much for your support. And yeah, I'll check you later. Okay, see you next